Bolovinaka, Nayadango o Alipate Traill, Ngonini Levuka Ovalau, Lomaiviti. Bolovinaka, everybody. My name is Alipate Traill. I hail from the island of Ovalau in the Lomaiviti group. I am the 2021 Pacific Dance New Zealand Artist in Residence. I was born in Fiji and have been dancing since I was a very young child. I trained at the Polynesian Cultural Center in Hawaii in performing arts, costuming, and theater, as well as cultural presentation. Due to the recent community outbreaks in Auckland, we have shifted my residency online. Please note that all the people in this video are all in my bubble, Inaka. My dancing journey began, of course, when I was very young. As you know, in the islands, whenever we have parties or functions, it's usually the kids who are thrown in the mix to get up and entertain the adults. So right from a young age, of course, I grew to love entertaining, dancing as well. And then this just grew when I eventually made it up to the Polynesian Cultural Center in Hawaii. And yeah, one thing led to another. I got experience in theater, costume making, as well as cultural presentation. This is just learning how to present our culture, yeah, in a way that's understandable for those who say have no knowledge. So when I came back from Hawaii a couple of years ago, I missed this sharing of my culture, yeah, through dance and through knowledge and so forth, sharing with others. So around about 4 years ago, I decided to start up a dance academy out West Auckland, where we just started off with dance, teaching Fijian meke, traditional and contemporary. And now it's gone full circle, where we teach not only just the meke and the dance, but we also teach part of the culture as well, the knowledge. We try to present everything in a holistic way. I still enjoy dancing. I still enjoy being a part of major projects or dance projects. More my role though now is more of a teacher or choreographer, a bit rusty around the edges with the dancing. So I like to teach the kids and help them grow a love for dance and as well as build their confidence. And so, yeah, so it's come full circle now, having teaching and sharing about our Fijian culture, yeah, with our young New Zealand-born Fijians here in the Auckland area. First of all, it was very humbling to be asked to be the artist in residence for 2021. For myself, I don't like to put myself in spotlight or see my name in big titles. I just like to do the work in the behind the scenes and let it speak for itself. Yeah, but you know what? I guess I've learned to embrace it, and I'm grateful and thankful to Pacific Dance New Zealand for this amazing opportunity. I see it as an opportunity again to shed and share more awareness about our culture, especially with our Fijian kids who are born in New Zealand. It's my hope that through this residency, that of course, that we'll have a bigger platform to share this nationwide and if not internationally as well. I hope the Fijian communities around the world joins in, and I hope there's something useful that I can share for them and their children as well. But yeah, I hope to continue on this work. This is not going to be the end for me. I only see this Artist in Residence program as further boosting and supporting the work that I've been involved with so far. And I hope that this will open up more doors and more opportunities to be able to share more about our Fijian culture, because as you all may be aware of, there really isn't that much out there regarding Fijian performing arts and culture and so forth. Yeah, we tend to not have that many people in this field who are active in sharing about our culture. So yeah, a great opportunity, and again, very humbled and honored to be in this residency, Vinaka. You know, we're very excited and very humbled to have a lot of new families and new participants coming into our Vuvale, or our whānau, as you say, Maori Fijian is Vuvale. We welcome you all. Bring your beautiful smiles. You probably can have a bottle of water nearby, but yeah, maybe a pen and paper as well in case you hear some new words that we will use, that's the perfect time to write it down, because as I was sharing earlier, we're teaching the dance, but as well, we'd love for you to pick up a little bit about the Navosa Vakaviti, which is our language, as well as our Mbula Vakaviti, which is our Fijian ways through our customs and traditions. And so, of course, this week is week 4 of our residency program. And we're learning, our theme for this week is Vakavanua. Translated simply means ways of the land. So we'll talk a little bit about some of our customs and traditions that you will learn about as you get involved, as you further in this journey of learning about your culture, yeah? And I'm sure some of you have already been involved or witnessed a kava ceremony or yangona ceremony. That's called the sevu sevu, yeah? So that's just one of many of our customs and traditions. In our workshop, we will talk a little bit about each of these ceremonies. So in the workshops this week, you can expect to have a little introduction into Vakavanua, or ways of the land, where we'll talk about very briefly some of the customs and traditions and some of our ceremonies that some of you may have witnessed. So again, just a very brief introduction into each of them. And as we go throughout the coming weeks, we'll get to go more in depth into some of them, as well as learning our meke. So hope you are ready to enjoy this session. Naka. Nimatabi nakamai, welcome back once again. So today's topic today, we're talking about our Ulutaga, which is topic in Fijian. We say Ulutaga, or theme. It's the topic or the theme, we can say Ulutaga. So today's Ulutaga or theme is Vakavanua. Vakavanua translated means the ways of the land. Okay, this is how certain people of a certain country does things differently, yeah, according to their custom and their culture. So of course, with Vakavanua, part 1, we'll be talking about traditional Fijian ceremonies. What's some ceremonies you may have seen in your lifetime thus far, children? Have any of you seen a Yangona ceremony or a Sevu Sevu? I'm sure you've been a part or seen a Fijian ceremony at one time in your life, yeah? Whether it was at home with family, or maybe in Fiji, who knows? You may have been lucky to go to Fiji before lockdown and before COVID hit. So, so today we'll talk a little bit about some of the ceremonies that we have. The first one on the list is called Kelikele. Do you want to repeat after me? Kelikele. Perfect. Vinaka, you sound great. Kelikele. So this, of course, before I talk a little bit about the steps of these ceremonies, this is a custom or a ceremony that's always accorded to VIP guests, special visitors, high chiefs or high-ranking families, or maybe a minister from government when they're visiting a village or another little island or so forth, yeah? We have a format and a list of things that we have to go through in order to welcome our special guests. So the first one is Kelikele. So of course, these ancient customs has to do with when people used to arrive in your village or your island via a boat or a canoe. Because remember, we never had airplanes until modern days. So when our families or our friends or our special guests would sail across the water to another island to come and visit us, we'd be ready to have certain ceremonies there. The first one is called Kelikele. This is where the family on the island hops on the boat that's visiting and presents a whale's tooth, which is called does anybody know the name? Tambua, yes, perfect. Tambua, whale's tooth, yeah? I'm sure some of you have some at home. So before you can hop off your boat, you need permission to set foot on land, and this is always done with the presenting of a whale's tooth. Kelikele, or to welcome you on. So the next step in our ceremonies is the Ngalo Wanga. Ngalo means to swim. Wanga in Fijian is our boat or canoe, yeah? Just like New Zealand Maori, Waqa, Vaka in other islands, Fijians, we say Wanga. Ngalo Wanga means to swim after the boat. So right after the Kelikele ceremony has finished on board, then some more of the families or friends will swim out to the boat. So as a thank you, so for those of us on the boat, we'll then hang up some material. We'll hang up tapa, we'll hang up material, hang up another whale's tooth, and the family and friends on shore has to swim out to the boat, trying to race and beat each other and climb up onto the boat. And the first one who touches the whale's tooth or the tapa or the material, that becomes their prize or their gift. Yeah, so it's like a really fun ceremony. Galowanga. So then the next step is tama. Prior to setting foot on land, tama is like an official call out, an official announcement that says we're here. And different parts of Fiji say it differently. Some you'll hear them say do, or you'll hear different types of call outs. Yeah, that's just one part of Fiji. So keep in mind, we all come from different parts of Fiji. Each part of Fiji practice their ceremonies a little different from other parts of Fiji. Okay, so I'm giving a very general information here. So our next part of the ceremony is after you've announced your arrival using the tama. The next part of the ceremony is galongalobi. Okay, this is where we prepare for the ceremony of welcome. Yeah, here we can prepare mats, tapa cloth, yangona, and more whale's teeth. So you have more tambua coming and getting ready to be presented. So during the galongalobi, the next step is nai vakamamada. Vakamamada, this is when our mums and aunties and all the women in the village come in and bring dry clothes, because in the old days when you sail across in your canoes, you'd always get wet with the big waves splashing onto the canoes. So we don't want our guests and our family to be wet continuously, so we bring them fresh clothing. So in the old days, we'd bring fresh new tapa cloth and mats and so forth for them to change and become nice and dry. Yeah. Nowadays we can give material and other things, other modern things. Yeah. So that's nai vakamamada, which means to bring dry clothing or dry clothes. Yeah. Vakamamada. So the next step is nai sevu sevu. Sevu sevu is your yangona presentation. You make a presentation formally to the chief of the place you're visiting on behalf of your family and your chief where you've come from. So that's nai sevu sevu. The next one is yangona Vakatiraga. Okay, yangona Vakatiraga is the chiefly making or the chiefly preparation of yangona or our kava. Yeah, you'll hear kava mentioned in other parts of the Pacific, but in Fiji we say yangona. Yangona. Perfect. That's the way. So we say yangona Vakatiraga is the chiefly preparation of our yangona ceremony. Okay, so then the next step in that is nai wase ni yangona. Wase means to share. So now that we've mixed and we've prepared the yangona, the chiefly yangona, it's now ready to be shared. So that's going to be with our bowls, our mbilo, and we prepare to perform. Sometimes we dance the yangona cup to our visitors, or it's just presented with a chant or a song in the background. So again, different parts of Fiji, different types and different ways to present the yangona. Okay, so right after the wasini yangona is our ulivi nivosa. Ulivi nivosa is to offer words of blessing and acceptance and to say thank you for coming to visit us. We wish you all of God's blessings upon you and your visiting party and your families. That's ulivi nivosa. The last step in our process, right after all of the ceremonies, all of these formal functions and speeches and presentation of gifts, sometimes it can take very, very long. Okay, the last thing we do, which is my favorite part, is the meke. We always celebrate through dance. So meke is a very important part of Fijian ceremony. And this is where you come in, kids, to come and learn about meke and dance. So I hope you have a rough idea of how important meke is as a part of Vakavanua, or ways of the land. After all the formal ceremonies are done, the meke is the last thing, because you know what? After a long, hard day of work, people want to party, eh? Now we just want to dance and have fun and celebrate with our family and friends, yeah? So this is why the meke is very important, because it brings everybody together and it lets people know that all the official serious stuff, sometimes it can look scary. it's now over. Now it's time to relax and have fun through dance and performing arts. So of course in Fiji we have many different types of dances, and I'll talk a little bit about that as we go. Yeah, so Navei Matangali Meke so, or the various types of Fijian dance. Okay, so the first one that I want to talk about is our Meke Iri ni Tangane and Yalewa. Okay, so we have a fan dance for girls and a fan dance for boys. So for the boys, of course, you can see them using in different forms. You'll see them doing certain moves, okay? It's usually strong, always on bent knees. So Meke Iri ni Tangane. And then with the ladies always stand a bit more upright, legs are always slightly bent, and you always see them really graceful with their movements. Okay, Meke Iri. Okay, so men's and women's fan dance. The next one is Meke Wow. Meke Wow, of course, is a men's dance. Wow is the club. Okay, of course, this is just a little example of a club. This one we cut that's safe for dancing with all our young kids, and it's not too sharp, it's not too heavy. But if you have a real Fijian club at home, you'll see that it's very heavy. It's made from heavy wood, and a lot of the parts are often sharp around the edges because they were used as weapons of war in the old days, yeah? So we dance with them after the war, after the battle. We always use them to dance, and they're called Meke Wow, okay? Or men's club dance. So then the next dance we'll talk about is Meke Wesi. Wesi is another men's dance. So this is a miniature spear or moto. We say in Fijian, moto. Repeat after me, moto. Perfect. So moto, Meke Wesi, we use a spear. This comes from the province of Vakavanua in Vanua Levu. This is a miniature one. Of course, with the adult spear, it's much, much longer and bigger than this, yeah? But for safety-wise, see, there's no sharp end on this. I make it nice and blunt and safe for all the children. So Meke Wesi usually involves two things, your spear, your moto, and your iri, okay? So depending which way you are, left hand, right hand, you get comfortable with your spear, and you use your iri as well with your spear, okay? So Meke Wesi often involves different motions, and you see them performed in different ceremony or occasions, yeah? Meke Wesi. All right, so our next Meke, of course, we have is Vakamalolo. Vakamalolo means to do the dance as they do from the island of Malolo. Vakamalolo means the Malolo way. And how they do their dance, they became famous in the old days for sitting on the ground, folding their legs and just doing a dance with just their hands and their upper half of the body. Vakamalolo, yeah? Sitting down dance from the islands of Malolo. But not just the islands of Malolo perform Vakamalolo, even in the Lau Islands as well, they're famous for the Vakamalolo as well. So that's a sitting down dance. The next dance is the Sea Sea. Sea Sea is a woman's leaning dance. So you'll see at least maybe 100 women all dressed up in their beautiful masi and their costumes, and they all move together, and it's beautiful. This dance is famous because they lean a lot. So when you dance, you always have to lean, and it's very beautiful and graceful when you see the Sea Sea. Sea Sea can also use fans as well, or iri. So you can see the Sea Sea, maybe they can start off with the iri, and then halfway through the dance, they'll put their iri in the back of their costume, and they just use their hands for their actions, yeah? Sea Sea. All right, so then the last two ones that I'll talk about is Meke Nive Solo is a combined men's and women's Meke together. So you see with all the different things we dance with, the spear, the iri, the club, it's either men's dance or ladies dance, yeah? Girls dance or boys dance. So with the different instruments, we have, in modern times, we have the Meke Nive Solo or combined men's and women. So it's usually a more fun dance. That's what you'll be learning in a few minutes' time, is a Meke Nive Solo or combined men's and women's dance, a fun number, yeah? The last dance I'd like to share with you or talk about is our Lakolako. So Lakolako may sound familiar to some of you from who may have Tongan ancestry or Tongan connections. This, of course, is the national dance, mainly from the people of the Lau Islands. So in the Lau Islands, their national dance is the Lakolako. Yeah, and that came to us from the islands of Tonga, and is still performed very much today. Yeah, big group dance, men's and women's, and you have all your positioning and so forth. They sing in Tongan. A lot of the actions are in Tongan as well, very heavily Tongan influenced. Beautiful dance to watch. That's the Lakolako. Yeah. So again, that's the various types of Fijian meke that we have. Hopefully you enjoyed learning a bit about some of the different dances that we have. So I hope you're ready for our next phase, where you'll get to learn a short Fijian dance or Fijian meke using one of our famous singers, Veiqaravi. I'm sure your parents and all your older family will know who this singer is. He's also a relative of our famous World Sevens champion, Veiqaravi, okay? Related, same family. So I hope you're ready for the next session. Vinaka. Mata Vinaka Mai, welcome back everybody. So now we're going to get right into our meke. So our meke is a contemporary meke. Contemporary meaning it's a modern mix-up, yeah? So we're doing it to a track of a song by one of our famous singers, Veiqaravi, and the remix is Tuki Lose. So family and friends, if you want to look this song up online later, just look up Veiqaravi Tuki Lose remix, okay? So this is a fun number you can use at, you can prepare for your next family function at a wedding or a birthday, or even at school. You have my permission to take this song and these actions and perform and have fun with it, okay? So before we get right into it, we're gonna talk about, so if you remember from our last session on ceremonies, Vakavanua, ways of the land, we talked about Yangona. So Yangona is our national drink, our ceremonial drink in Fiji. Other islands call it kava or ava in different parts of Polynesia or the Pacific. But in Fiji, I want you to remember, kids, that our word for kava is Yangona. Okay, so Yangona. So this song talks about the process of making Yangona, preparing it, mixing it, and serving it. Okay, so our actions you'll see involve different ways of how we prepare the Yangona. So it's meant for us to have fun with it, okay? So the first thing, of course, when you harvest our Yangona, we pull the whole plant up and we use the roots of the tree, of the plant. But the roots are all muddy, so we have to wash it. We wash it, we prepare it, chop it all up, and then we sun it out in the sun. On a hot day, you'll see Yangona pieces being sun or dried out throughout the villages, yeah? So then the next process, once it's nice and dry, we have to pound it. So we put it in a nice iron billy can with an iron rod, and you'll hear the pounding in the village. It sounds like a bell or somebody banging a bell constantly, yeah? So this process is called tuki. Me tukia na Yangona. Tuki is the short form of the formal way of saying me tukia na Yangona, or to pound the Yangona, yeah? Tuki, so you'll hear the word tuki. So our first action is tuki. Okay, so we're tuking the Yangona. So once the Yangona has been pounded nice and fine in powder form, we bring it out of the can and it becomes a nice powdery, just like flour, ready to be mixed. We put it into a silk material where we can drop it into our tanoa. Okay, tanoa is our wooden bowl full of water where we mix the Yangona powder with the water, and we squeeze the silk bag. Then our water turns all brown, yeah, looking like muddy water. That's when you know you have kava or Yangona ready to serve, yeah. So when you mix in the Yangona, it's called, we say, lose. Me lose na Yangona, me losea na Yangona, but short form we say lose, L-O-S-E, okay? So first we tuki the Yangona, and then we lose the Yangona. Our lose action is just like this, left to right, okay? Maui, matau. Maui is left, matau is right, okay? My left, sanai maui, sanai matau, okay? So remember, when I'm doing my left, you're on the opposite because you're watching the screen. You'll be going the opposite way, okay? So my left will be almost your right, and vice versa. Okay, so we'll talk about it as we go. So maui left, matau right. Okay, so you've tuki o yangona. It's already been tuki. Now we're gonna lose the yangona. And the word for mix, sorry, to serve. When we serve the yangona, we get our mbilo, our coconut shell bowl. We taki the yangona. Okay, taki the yangona. So tuki, lose, taki. 3 main words. I'm sure you'll be familiar with this now when you hear mom and dad or aunties and uncles or nana and pa having their yangona party at home. Only in your bubbles, remember, no mixing bubbles, that you'll hear these words, lose or taki, or let's have the next round of yangona, taki, okay? So let's get right into our song, okay? So for the first action, of course, you're gonna go to your right. I'm going to my right, so you'll be doing mirror opposite. So you turn to your right. So you're gonna go right, left, matau, maui, matau, maui, okay? So I'm turning my whole body, okay? Vuki bango, vuki, and your eyes and your head is moving as well. So you do that for the first 2 lines of the song, and you're gonna come to the chorus. Dun, 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 and you're gonna hear tuki lose. So when you hear tuki, you should be on your right-hand side. Your sanai matau. Okay, so you'll always start on your sanai matau, your right-hand side. Tuki lose. Tuki, your first action. Tuki lose taki sinainga. Okay, so it's tuki lose taki sinainga. For the girls, you're gonna go to your, starting from your sanai matau, from your right-hand side, you're gonna turn to you're gonna move to your left, to sanai maui, okay? So from here, the girls, you're gonna go 1, 2, dua, rua, okay? So let's try that again, tuki lose, okay? Dun, 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 dun. Pakarau, tuki lose taki sinainga, taki mea dovangana singararama. Okay, that's your first 3 lines done already. So then after the taki, taki mea dovangana singararama, and you're gonna hear taki my. They're saying, serve that bowl, serve that bowl. Okay, so again, a good fun song. So you're gonna hear taki mai. So what you're gonna do is you put your naevamui matau, your right leg. You're gonna put your right leg forward, and then you're gonna put your lingamui maui, your left hand on your hip, and you're gonna roll your shoulder. Okay. So try that with me. Roll your right shoulder. Dua, rua, tolu. Okay. Again, nice good stretch there. Loosen up the shoulders, but that's part of our action. So give it a shot. Dua, rua, tolu, and then you'll do your left shoulder, naisanai maui. Gonna do your shoulder rolls backwards, okay? So forward, your vakavi liu. So roll your shoulders forward, and then vakavtale muri. You're gonna roll it back, okay? Iliu, front or forward, imuri to the back, okay? Backward motion, okay? Vakavi muri, vatolu, vakarau, dua, rua, tolu, sanai matau, iliu, dua, rua, tolu. Now you're gonna add your hips. You gotta bend forward and then back. Okay, so add your shoulders. Okay, we'll start with naisanai matau to the right hand side, rolling forward. Kiliu, bakarau, dua, rua, tolu. Okay, baktale zaket, come back up. Dua, rua, tolu. Again, dua, rua, tolu. Izake, dua, rua, tolu. Okay, and you dance it up, okay? Dance it down, dance it up. Put some groove into those shoulders and dance it down, okay? Have fun with it, okay? Dobletale, let's try it again. Dua, rua, tolu. Okay, laftali dake, up, rua, tolu. Okay, so from there, try it from the top now. Tuki lose. Vakarau, are you ready? rua, tolu. Okay, to the right is Sane Matau, dua, rua, tolu, va. So you'll keep going for 2 lines or 2, the first intro to the chorus. You're gonna hear, excuse me, you're gonna hear, Wakarau, tuki, tuki lo se taki sinainga, girls, taki mea dovangan, singararama. And then you're ready, your Yavamui Matau forward, Kiliu, Dua, Rua, Tolu, and then Sanai Maui, up, Idake, Dua, Rua, Tolu. Okay, so for the boys, so the girls do this, action, turn, turn for the boys. You're gonna go to your Sanai Maui, to your left, and you're gonna go Dua, Rua, Matau, Dua, Rua, Maui, Dua, Rua, Matau, Dua, Rua. Okay, so as the girls are doing this, turn, 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 turn. Boys, you're going Sanai Maui to your left. Okay, Dua, Rua, slightly bend your knees, turn. Okay, practice that. Turn, turn. Okay, so that's the first half of the dance. Okay, so right after when we do our shoulder rolls forward, okay, we're gonna go 1, 2, 3, lakazake, dua, rua, tolu, and then we go transition 2, 3, and then we're gonna do it again. Dua, rua, so, laktalidake, dua, rua, tolu. Back up, and then right after that, when you come right back up, your next action is kinai sanai matau to your right hand side. You're gonna do this, okay? Dua, rua, dua, rua. So to the right, matau, dua, rua, maui, dua, rua. Okay, so just 2 times to the right, to the left. Matau, maui. Okay, so you're gonna go dua, rua, dua, rua. That's the last 2 lines. And then the last line you're gonna be, since you're on your sanai maui to your left, dua, rua. From here you go. Your right hand comes to the middle of your chest, and you're gonna go 1, 2, switch, 1, 2. Okay, toble talibaya, dua, rua, dua, rua. And that's lewa tangane, boys and girls, all together. Okay, so you're gonna do those last 2 lines of actions together. So let's take it from the chorus, the shoulder rolls down, dalakwira, dalak talimaidake, coming back up, and you do your clap, rua, tolu, and then again, laktalira, laktalmaidake, shoulder rolls up, and then from there you go straight into your dua, rua, dua, rua, and then, okay, to your matau, maui, and then it's just into your shoulder rolls again. And that's the entire song. Yeah, so let's walk it through. Let's actually give it a shot with the song. Let's try and put it all together. Sabakrao Ragone, are you ready? All right, I'm now gonna invite my 2 helpers here today. Dolakumai, my go Jacob, Makambula Jacob, go or Kamaya, Makambula Kamaya. Okay, so they're gonna be assisting me with this dance, and let's try and put all together the actions that we've just learned. Okay, so let's get our track ready, and we'll get right underway. I hope that was fun for you to learn. Okay, Sabakarao, let's get ready now, and we'll see how we do. If you make mistakes, don't worry. Mistakes are all part of the show. Remember, just carry on. And the most important thing to do also, don't forget to smile. Mata vinaka mai vinaka. Okay. good right there, kids? How was that? I hope you caught up to that fast. So once you play the song, it all goes fast, yeah? So we've got one more action to learn. And so we're just gonna do the same action for the boys and girls. We're gonna do some footwork. So we're gonna turn to 4 different positions. Nai matai, the first, we're gonna turn to Al, yes, sanai mawi, to the left, okay? So we're gonna take 1 step back. Okay, so we're gonna do 1 and turn. Can you try that? So we try that again, okay? With your step, with vamui matau, with your right leg, you're gonna step to your sanai matau. To the right, you're gonna go 1 and vuki, turn. Vuki means to turn. Okay, tobole talevaya, rangone. Okay, let's try that. Take 1 step and let's turn to the right. Sorry, turn to your left. Okay, so we're going to be going in opposite directions, but you turn to your left, I turn to my left, okay? Okay, vakarau, dua, rua, tolu. Step and vuki. Step and vuki. Step and vuki. Step and vuki. So only 4 times, you're going to turn to 4 different points, okay? So watch again. Sanai mawi. Sanai muri to the back. Sanai matau to the right. Sana reitalekiliu to the front, okay? Forward. Okay, so let's try that. Dua, rua, tolu. Toso, mawi. Toso, imuri. Toso, matau, toso, kiliu. Perfect. So now we're going to add just a hand, okay? Let's do our hands. We'll just do all the same actions to make it easy for everyone. So for the hand, we're just going to do this, okay? Clap up here, and then slide down this way, and we turn. So that'll help us do our turn, okay? Nananto vuki, that'll help us to turn. So let's just go add in our footwork. Let's try that all together. Sabarau, Kamaya, Jacob, sabarau. Okay. Dua, rua, tolu, okay? Toso, vuki. Toso, vuki. Toso, vuki. Toso, vuki. Okay? So it means move and turn. Okay, vakarau tale. Let's try that one more time. Rua, tolu. Toso, vuki. Toso, vuki. Toso, vuki, toso, vuki. All right. So let's try that all together from the top with our song all the way through to the end. And you'll hear the song will just repeat again. Okay? Savara Rangone, you guys doing all good? All right. Perfect. Okay, let's get ready for this. We'll go right from the top to the end. No mistakes, eh? Okay, I know you'll be all good. Okay, Vara Rangone, Naka. Let's go.
West side.
Wasaw Samanda, Napalev Rangone. That's our short dance for you today, Rangone family and friends. We hope you enjoyed that. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you at the next session. Vinavalev Nisamo Toka. Nikua, thank you very much for joining us this evening. We're very grateful and humbled to have you here with us. Just with some final words I'd like to share, I'd like to close up tonight in regards to our Vakavanua, or ways of the land. A people without the knowledge of their past, origin, and culture is like a tree with no roots. So Rangone, parents, everyone listening, it's important to learn a little bit about your identity, make a little step. Sometimes it can be a bit overwhelming to think, oh, I've got to learn all of this. Take it in baby steps, one step at a time, basic knowledge, basic precept upon precept. You'll build it as you go. Eventually you'll get there, yeah? So this is just a little start in your journey, but identity is important. In order to be a strong tree that'll weather the storms of change and whatnot that's going on out there, you need to have strong, firm roots. And that's where your identity and your culture comes in. So Vinava Level for joining us again today. Have a blessed rest of the week. Stay home, stay safe. And we'll see you all next week. Next week's session, of course, will be on Wednesday again on the 1st of September from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. right here online again. So next week's theme, of course, is Vakavanua Part 2, Ways of the Land. So we talk about Tutu Vakavanua and Tavi Vakavanua. Tutu Vakavanua is our traditional Fijian structure. How is our society built? Yeah, you have the chiefs and the people underneath. So we'll talk about all the different positions in Fijian society. Yeah, and the second part of that is Tavi Vakavanua. Each family belongs to a certain clan or tribe. You also have a certain responsibility or traditional role to play. You all fit in somewhere. So that's what we'll talk about next week. Tutu Vakavanua, Tavi Vakavanua. Again, from our Vuvale to yours, have a blessed rest of the week. Stay home and stay safe. We'll see you next week. Pinaka, Nisamo Toka.